All right, good morning and welcome to Master Talker online class. This is a physics practical manual. Okay, now this is page 21 and 22 of your physics practical manual. And the question said that in the table below, this is the table. Okay, in the table below, some equations usually encountered in physics are given. These are the equations given. Okay, and they say that the variables are included. These are the variables, okay, that are included, and also they transform the equation. This equation is transformed to this. These are the transformed equation, and they say that you are required to compare this equation. In fact, you are required to compare this transformed equation to what? To the normal equation of a straight line. Okay, so you have to compare the two of them. So hence you find so many things. You have to find number one, the y equivalent, the x equivalent, the slope, and the intercept. So we are asked to find four things. So let me clean this place so that I can be able to start solving it. So let me clean this. So you have seen the question. That is page 21 and 22 of your practical physics practical manual. So let us start solving. Now from the first one, we are comparing everything to the equation of a straight line. We say that y is equal to what? Mx plus c, where y is the y equivalent, x is the x equivalent, and then your what? Your slope is m, and then the intercept is c. So question number one, for question number one, the transformed equation is ln y is equal to what? N ln x, then plus ln a. Now, if you compare this to this, you see that the y equivalent here, you tell them that y equivalent, you make it in a tabular form, please. You can make it y equivalent slash x equivalent slash your slope, okay, then slash your intercept, so that you can be writing it for number one. But I don't want to make my own in a tabular form because there won't be a space for me to be solving it. So I'll just be writing it out. After writing number one, we move to number two. So this is how you make your own. Under this place, they gave you space. Look at it here. This place, they gave you space. You make a tabular form here. You make a tabular form here, okay? Your serial number, your x equivalent, your y equivalent, your slope, and then your intercept. Then you start writing, okay? So now comparing this to this, you will see that y equivalent is equal to what? Ln y. Then our x equivalent is equal to what? Is equal to what? Now compare this to this, you see that your slope is m, so your x equivalent is going to be what? Ln x. Why? Because they say that we are plotting, the variable is telling you what you are plotting, that we are plotting y against x. So that is why we have this. So we'll now see obviously that our slope is the coefficient of that x equivalent, and the coefficient of the x equivalent is equal to what? N. So then the intercept is the one standing alone. So intercept is equal to what? Ln a. That is for number one. Now let's move to number two. Now for number two, the transformed equation is said 1 over I is equal to 1 over E, then R plus R over what? E. Now, if you compare this to this, you see that obviously your y equivalent is simply what? 1 over I. That is your y equivalent. Then your x equivalent, your x equivalent is obviously the coefficient. Look at it from this, from the variable. You are plotting I against R. So this is I, please. So since you are plotting I against R, so your I is the y equivalent, while your anything R is your what? X equivalent. So my x equivalent here is equal to what? R. Then the coefficient of that x equivalent is your slope. So my slope here, my slope is equal to what? 1 over E. I get it now. Then my intercept. So my intercept is going to be what? Anything that is standing on its own, that is what? R over E. So that is for question number two. I hope you are getting this. So let's go to question number three. From question number three, so we are plotting T. We are plotting T against what? Against D. So if you get the transformed equation, you will see that T squared is equal to what? 16 pi squared I L all over what? Mgd squared. So now, for the fact that we are plotting, they gave us T, D. That is T is the y equivalent. So we tell them that y equivalent is equal to what? That is what? Your t squared here. Then your x equivalent is what? Our d. Where is our d? D is d here. And it's 1 up over d. So it is what? 1 over d squared. Are you getting it now? So the coefficient of that 1 over d squared is your slope. So therefore my slope is equal to every other thing that is beside this 1 over d squared. That is what? 16 pi squared IL all over what? Mg. Every other thing here except this. So you now see that your intercept is simply, there is no plus here, there is no constant, so my intercept here is 0, obviously. So let me refill. I hope you are getting it, because these questions you will see it in exam. Yes, it will come out in your practical exam, your physics practical exam. So you have to be very careful and master it very well, the way I'm doing mine. Okay, so number 4. So let's move to number 4. Now for number 4, they gave us that the transformed equation is m is equal to, the transformed equation is t squared is equal to 16 pi squared I. Which one am I talking about? Question number 4. Question number 4 said that our m is equal to lgt squared all over 4 pi squared minus m0. Now, in this particular question, to me, there is a problem here. They are supposed to write this thing as, m comma t and not t comma m. Because if you look at that transformed equation, m came first here. So this is how they are supposed to write it. So there's a mistake. There's supposed to be m comma t and not t comma m. You can equally verify it from the lecturer yourself. Tell him, show him this, and then ask him, sir, I'm from this transformed equation, I'm seeing that my m is supposed to be m comma t. But if you want to make it t comma m, then you have to make t subject of the formula first. So let me solve this in 2 ways. If it is m comma t, you will ask the lecturer, so you know the one you're writing. If it is m comma t, then your y equivalent is simply what? This your m. Okay, then your x equivalent will now be what? The t, that is what? T squared. Then your slope will now be the coefficient of that t squared, which is what? Lg over what? 4 pi squared. Then your intercept will now be minus m0. Okay, so that is if it is m comma t. But if it is t comma m, let me show you. Now, if it is t comma m, then I have to make t squared subject. So for me to make t squared subject, I'm going to multiply everybody by 4 pi squared. So it will now be 4 pi squared m is equal to what? Lg t squared minus 4 pi squared m0. So I want this one to stay low. So this one will come to this side. So I'm going to have that this one coming here. I'm going to have that it is 4 pi squared m plus 4 pi squared m0. Okay, now everybody will now be divided by Lg is equal to t squared. Now from here, now you can now compare. You have made the t squared subject, so you now say that your y equivalent will now be t squared, while your x equivalent, you know, the one that is y is the one that you must make subject of the formula. Even if we are not given this transformed equation, we will use this to transform this into this by making I subject of the formula. We use this to transform it into this by making t subject of the formula. That is as simple as that. In case you are not given the transformed equation, you can transform it by yourself. So from here, we will now see that m, where is our m? So our m is our x. Then the slope is the coefficient of that m, which is what? 4 pi squared over what? 4g. So you see, obviously, how did I get 4g? Lg, sorry, Lg, not 4g, Lg. So over Lg, and then the intercept. Then the intercept will now be this one standing alone. This one standing away from the slope, which is what? 4 pi squared m0 over LG. So that is it. So you verify from the lecturer to know the particular one you are going to be writing on your book. So the next one, question number 5. Question number 5 gave us that t squared is equal to 4 pi squared m. Aha, this is it, sef. This is it. So obviously, okay, since I have this, so obviously this one's supposed to be m comma t. You see what I'm saying now? So automatically I've done number 5. So number 5 is what I just did now. So though that I started from transforming the equation. So you see that I got the same thing. This is the transformed equation. From here, you will see that obviously your y equivalent is this, t squared. Your s equivalent is m. Your slope is 4 pi squared over LG, while your intercept is 4 pi squared m naught over LG. Okay, so obviously this one is m comma t and not t comma m. So we'll go to question number 6. For question number 6, the transformed equation is 1 over v is equal to minus 1 over u, then plus 1 over f. Okay, now if you look at this, you see that obviously your y equivalent will now be what? 1 over v, right? X equivalent. So what do you think that x equivalent will be? Tell us on the comment section. Let me give you 1 second. It's going to be what? Minus. Is it going to be minus? No. It's going to be what? 1 over u. Then the slope is the coefficient of that your y equivalent, which is what? Minus 1 is my slope. There is invisible minus 1 standing beside it. So therefore, my intercept will now be this one standing alone, which is what? 1 over f. See, all these things are very simple. We move over to question number what? Question number 7. So for question number 7, we have that u over v over u is equal to what? Okay, in the other one they gave us u comma v. Okay, and this one they're only giving us u comma v. So say v over u is equal to v over u again minus 1. Is that? Let me check. Sorry, number what? Number 7 said v over u all over v over f. Sorry, not v over f. Okay, so v over f, then minus 1. So from here is obviously that we are plotting v over u at the y-axis. So we'll tell them that the y equivalent is v over u, y the x equivalent is just the coefficient of v, which is what? That is v itself. Why the slope will now be the coefficient, which is 1 over f is my slope. Then my intercept is obviously minus 1. Okay, so that is that. Intercept is obviously minus 1. So we move to question number 8. See, all these things are very, very simple. Question number 8, the transformed equation gave us that v is equal to 1 ir, not 1 ir, and they gave us v comma I. So obviously my y equivalent is equal to what? Our v, while your x equivalent will now be what? Your I. Then our slope will now be what? Our r, while the intercept is obviously 0. So we go to question number 9. All these things are very, very simple questions. So go to question number 9. So question number 9 said that they gave us that sine I over what? Sine r is equal to what? Mu. Okay, sine I over sine r is equal to what? Mu. So now the thing here is that they didn't transform it. They repeated this question. So for me to transform, they gave us I and r. Huh? I and r. So here should be small letter r. Okay, so they didn't transform it. So let us transform it now. Transforming it is to cross multiply. So give us that sine I is equal to what? Mu sine r. So obviously our y equivalent is equal to what? Our sine I. Why our x equivalent is what? Our sine r. Then our slope is equal to what? Mu. while our intercept is obviously 0. So question number 10. All these things are very, very simple. So question number 10 gave us that d squared minus small letter d is equal to what? 4fd. Okay, so obviously we'll just take this to this side to have that d squared staying alone will now be d squared plus 4fd. Okay, so that is that. So from here we can now get that our they gave us d comma d. So from here we can now get obviously that our y equivalent is equal to d squared. Our y equivalent is equal to what? D squared, while our x equivalent will now be small letter d squared. So what else? Our slope is the coefficient of the d squared, which is 1. So, and intercept, our intercept is what? 4fd. That is our intercept. So we move over to the last but not the least, the last one but not the least. That is question number 11. For question number 11, they gave us that d is equal to d squared over capital letter D plus 4f. Very simple. From here, we have that our y equivalent is equal to what? Our d. Okay, and then our x equivalent is, they gave us capital letter d comma d, so it will now be d squared, while our slope is what? Coefficient of this, which is 1 over d, and then intercept. Our intercept is what? Obviously this one standing alone, 4f. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. May the peace of the Lord be with you. Bye bye.